Yes, Charleston White is correct. I'm a rapper, not a dealer. Be sure to catch my new show, 50 Cent, 50 Ways to Catch a Killer.
I see that Meech concert got the streets talking. The biggest Meech the streets back. That's what I'm talking about. That's how real niggas come home and get it down. 50, who own your masters? Who own your masters? I buy your masters. You better. I will buy your masters.
50 Cent just came after Big Meech Heavy One's rumor spread that Rick Ross straight up blew a jaw-dropping $120 million deal. Word on the block is Ross was selling dreams of Hollywood-side productions, massive projects, and...
So look, I do want to do a BMF film because you've been entertained by a lackluster, small budget series. Now it's time to do a big budget film. Which director? Shout out to my homie, F. Gary Gray, Antoine Foucault, what's up? Tarantino, it's a lot of legends. This is gonna be big, I can feel it.
Career-defining opportunities. But when it was time to show receipts, nothing came out. Just illusions and empty promises. Now the streets are dragging not just Ross, but anyone gullible enough to believe the hype. Because let's not sugarcoat it, $120 million is no pocket change. That's dynasty money. That's the kind of wealth that flips entire family trees. For us to hype up all these grand visions only for them to vanish, it makes a whole play look like one of the biggest scams the industry has ever seen. And of course, 50 being 50 jumped in with his signature trolling, clowning Ross as the ultimate fraudster in rap. Now Meech is stuck looking broke while 50 keeps flipping his name into the internet's favorite punchline. The trolling has gotten so insane that fans are even joking the only way to squash this is if Meech and 50 throw hands in a boxing ring. And the wildest part? It all traces back to the moment Meech thought leaving the streets meant leveling up with a Hollywood comeback. That's exactly when Rick Ross popped up with his over-the-top promises. He was talking about a $120 million movie empire, major blockbuster deals, and a whole new legacy in entertainment.
You understand that?
Can I call my mom or somebody?
We'll do that after.
Okay.
All right, just turn around for me. Be cooperative. Everything's just video and audio surveillance. Plus, I'm on body cam. You understand that?
So he can see it. Okay.
There's even a viral clip of Ross selling it hard like he was about to rewrite Meech's future overnight. On paper, it looked like Meech was seconds away from cashing out big on his legendary reputation. But reality hit different. Ross didn't put a single dollar behind him. Instead, he basically borrowed Meech's name to fire shots at 50, his longtime rival. While Ross was busy capping with fake Hollywood dreams.
I feel bad for Lil Meech. I don't feel bad for no grown man on this planet. Like, I'm a grown man. Why the f I gotta feel bad for another grown man? Like, you a grown man too. Get what you asking for my sympathy for. You be alright. Oh,
It was actually 50 Cent who pulled through with real business moves. He launched the BMF show, paid for Lil Meech's acting training, and gave him the platform Ross could never back up. And it's not just 50 running his mouth either. Tony Yayo came in backing him to the fullest, pulling out proof that 50 was the one actually writing checks and putting real plays in motion. At the same time, fresh reports claim Meech is fed up, broke, and only now realizing Ross linked up with him just to throw shade at 50. That's beyond embarrassing. Instead of leveling up into a Hollywood boss like he imagined, Meech is stuck looking like a pawn caught in somebody else's war. The guy went from chasing a $120 million movie empire to being reduced to a subplot in the endless drama between 50 and Ross. And the internet? They're eating every second of it up like it's primetime comedy. But those empty promises were just scratching the surface. The real drama exploded when Meech's own son got caught partying shoulder to shoulder with Ross at the club. This came only days after those leaked texts where Lil Meech allegedly typed out, F Ross, Ross, Ross. And then, out of nowhere, he's spotted chilling right beside him in VIP like none of it ever happened. That clip tore through the internet. Meech and Ross whispering in each other's ears, flashing smile for the cameras.
February 13th, the Big Meech benefit concert. It's gonna be iconic. Too many names to list, but let me salute some of the legends. Lil Baby, Boss Man D-Lo, 21 Savage, Sexy Red, Ricky Rose. Now, this the first time it's ever been done. Me performing BMF with the icon himself. This shit gonna be special.
Epic.
Get your tickets right now.
I'm back.
The whole spot glowing red like a scene straight out of a movie. And you already know 50 wasn't about to stay quiet. He jumped on Instagram with one of his classic troll shots, cracking that Ross told Lil Meech to drop his dad's address so he could send Wingstop wings over. But that jab was more than just comedy. It was a precision hit. 50 was mocking Ross for throwing crumbs instead of delivering actual opportunities. And just when people thought the joke couldn't get colder, 50 came back with a bombshell. In a now-deleted post, he claimed he personally had to send Lil Meech to rehab after the kid was showing up to set high, even puking during a weapons test because he was lit. Then came the wild twist. They allegedly discovered whippets inside Lil Meech's truck. 50 even joked he had to Google what they were because he'd never heard of them before. He played it off like the older, wiser brother trying to keep Meech on track, while Ross looked like the one encouraging reckless behavior. And just when you thought it couldn't spiral further, Lil Meech caught a case at the airport. Once 50 laid out all those details, social media exploded with a question. Did 50 actually save Lil Meech's career? And if so, why was Meech siding with Ross? That's when another name jumped into the mix and made things even nastier. Michael Rainey Jr., that's right, Tariq from Power. He hopped on live, and when a fan asked if he felt sorry for Lil Meech, Michael didn't sugarcoat anything. No polished answer, no fake Hollywood sympathy, just straight savage. The internet ate it up instantly. The clip went viral everywhere, and who reposted it with a laugh? None other than 50 himself. He doubled down by echoing Michael's words in his caption, proving he had his star actor's back all the way. That move hit deep. Suddenly it looked like Meech was losing respect not just from 50, but from the whole inner circle around him. And fans were quick to connect the dots, because the cracks had been showing long before this. Back when Big Meech's Welcome Back concert tanked, the writing was on the wall. People expected fireworks, a cultural moment stacked with rappers, history in the making. But instead of sticking with 50, the guy who made his life into a TV empire, Meech leaned on Ross. They hyped it up like it was going to be legendary. The concert never even happened. For 50, that was the breaking point. From that moment, things went nuclear. 50 accused Meech of cutting side deals with the feds and unleashed his trolling fury online. Meech tried to clap back with an old throwback photo of him and 50, but this time with a giant rat emoji slapped across 50's face. No subliminals, no code, he was flat out calling him a snitch. He piled on by labeling 50 an internet gangster, saying all he does is talk tough online. Russ jumped in too, mocking 50 for being salty about their new alliance. Fans saw it as a tag team effort, Russ hyping up Meech just to poke the bear harder. Even clips surfaced of Russ clowning 50 while standing right next to Meech. But here's where the contradiction burned even more. While 50 handed Lil Meech real opportunities, acting credits, roles, a TV platform, Russ was only handing out club appearances and stage photos. Yet Meech still looked eager to stand with Ross. That made the internet roast him harder, calling him lost in the sauce. Soon, whispers turned into rumors that Meech wasn't just trolling, he was ready to throw hands with 50. The rat emoji posts, the partying, Ross's clowning, it all had people convinced a boxing match was on the horizon. Big Meech reduced to fight talk just to stay relevant. Some fan called it downright tragic. And then the real bombshell hit. Whack 100 stepped in and flipped the whole story with a theory that sent shockwaves through the streets. He claimed Meech's own close associate, Tammy Cowens, had once told 50 that Meech secretly worked with federal authorities on other cases. Translation? Whack was suggesting Meech's loyalty to the code wasn't as bulletproof as people believed. That's where 50's snitch narrative came from in the first place. And with Ross in the picture, it became even easier to sell that storyline. Decades of loyalty branding, suddenly looking shaky. But Whack didn't stop there. He hinted that Tammy might have had her own reason for switching sides. Maybe she felt abandoned when Meech went down. Maybe she was bitter about him trying to take back the life rights he had already signed over to 50 for the BMF show. If that was true, it meant someone closest to Meech might have been secretly feeding 50 the very ammo he's been firing off for years. Whether fact or pure chaos, Whack's word gave 50 even more leverage and more fuel to keep clowning without mercy. Not long after, Big Meech popped out wearing Kanye West's iconic graduation jacket. At first, it looked like just another flashy throwback flex. But fans immediately caught the subliminal. That's the very album that crushed 50 in their legendary 2007 showdown. Coincidence? Some people thought so. Others swore Meech was trolling deliberately, reopening old scars just to poke at his former ally. Either way, it sent the internet buzzing that Meech was using past LS's ammo to shade 50 today. What really struck fans wasn't the jacket itself. It was 50's reaction, or rather, his lack of one. Normally, he's the first to clown a questionable outfit, screenshot a goofy pose, or tear someone apart with savage humor. But this time, silence. And that silence was deafening. People became convinced 50 was holding something back, saving a nuke for the right moment. Because when 50 stays quiet, it usually means he's planning a strike that cuts deeper than a meme. Suddenly, this beef felt less like jokes and more like a Cold War ready to explode. By now, it's clear 50 isn't just trolling for laughs. He's in full attack mode. Most rap feuds fade with time, but this one only intensifies with every move Meech makes. Some say 50 feels betrayed after handing Lil Meech real chances, only to watch him side with Ross. Others argue it's about power. 50 doesn't just want to clap back, he wants to crush anyone reckless enough to test him. Letting Meech slide would look weak, and weakness isn't in 50's DNA. So if this ever moves from Instagram shots to an actual boxing ring, it won't be for spectacle. It'll be the grand finale of a war already spiraling out of control. One man's defending his legacy, while the other's chasing clout by trying to chip away at it. At the pace this is going, it's looking less like internet gossip and more like an inevitable showdown. But what do you think? Is this beef really headed for gloves in the ring? Or will 50 bury Meech long before it gets that far? Drop your thought below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.